When I first envisioned Alibaba, the clarity of our purpose was paramount. Goals are not just aspirations, they are compasses that direct our actions and define our journey. Without a clear destination, even the most ambitious efforts can falter. Clear goals provide structure and meaning, ensuring that every step we take is purposeful and deliberate. They are the silent force that transforms dreams into achievements. A clear goal is not just about knowing what you want, it's about committing to it. In the early days of Alibaba, the idea of empowering small businesses globally seemed overwhelming, yet it was that vision that drove us. A goal isn't just a map, it's the engine that pushes you forward even when the road gets tough. Every task gains significance when it aligns with a greater purpose. Think of a goal as the fuel that sustains your motivation. Without it, the journey becomes directionless, and even the smallest challenges can seem insurmountable. A specific and defined goal sharpens your focus. It helps you prioritize and channel your energy effectively. As I often say, if you want to catch the rabbit, don't change the rabbit, change yourself. Focus is everything. Clear goals also create momentum. They turn intentions into tangible progress, one action at a time. In my experience, when you have a clear target, you begin to see opportunities that were previously invisible. It's like lighting a path in the dark. Suddenly, the way forward becomes visible, even if the journey is still challenging. Reflecting on my journey, I realized that clear goals don't just shape what you do, they shape who you become. They transform uncertainty into direction and potential into accomplishment. They are not just about reaching the destination, but about discovering your capability along the way. There's a simple truth I've learned. Life without goals is like a ship without a rudder. Without direction, we drift aimlessly, reacting to the waves instead of charting a course. When I was younger, I didn't know how to achieve something great, but I knew that starting with small, actionable goals was key. Those early steps taught me the value of taking control of my destiny, a lesson that shaped the foundation of Alibaba. Without goals, life becomes a series of reactions instead of purposeful actions. Goals give us clarity and momentum. They transform the abstract into the achievable. It's like asking yourself, if not now, when? If not me, who? These words have always driven me to take responsibility for my journey, reminding me that waiting for the perfect moment only delays progress. A clear goal ignites a sense of possibility. It shifts your mindset from passive to proactive. When you set a goal, you're no longer at the mercy of circumstances. You're in charge. This shift in perspective allows you to see opportunities where others see obstacles. It's not about the resources you have, but about how resourceful you can become. Goals also instill accountability. When I and my team embarked on building Alibaba, our objectives pushed us to act decisively, even when faced with uncertainty. Each milestone, no matter how small, represented a step closer to our vision. This accountability keeps you grounded, ensuring that every decision aligns with the bigger picture. Ultimately, setting goals is a declaration of self-belief. It's about saying, I am capable and I am willing to work for it. It's not just about planning, but about creating a future worth striving for. Goals turn ordinary moments into opportunities for growth, and they remind us that we are the authors of our stories. Many people say they want success or a good life, but what do these words actually mean? Vague goals are like a foggy horizon. There's no way to measure progress or determine when you've arrived. During Alibaba's early days, I realized that specific goals were the key to turning our vision into reality. We didn't aim to just succeed. We set clear objectives, like reaching 100 million users within a set time frame. The problem with vague goals is that they lack focus and accountability. For instance, saying, I want to be happy is admirable, but it's too broad to inspire concrete action. Instead, break it down. What does happiness look like to you? Is it spending more time with family? Starting a business? Buying your dream home? Specificity transforms wishes into actionable plans. When goals are clear, they create a roadmap. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by the enormity of a dream, you can focus on achievable steps. Imagine saying, in 5 years, I want to own a house with 3 bedrooms. This is a concrete goal, one you can visualize and work toward. It's no longer just a dream, it's a destination. Clear, specific goals also build confidence. Each small victory becomes a stepping stone. reinforcing your belief that bigger accomplishments are within reach. This is why vague aspirations like being successful often leave people feeling lost. Without clear markers of progress, it's easy to lose motivation. Setting specific goals doesn't limit you, it empowers you. It's about defining what truly matters and committing to it with precision. When you trade ambiguity for clarity, you unlock the potential to achieve extraordinary things, one step at a time. There's something powerful about putting your goals into writing. When you write them down, you're not just organizing your thoughts, you're making a commitment. I've always believed that writing down goals transforms them from abstract ideas into something tangible. During Alibaba's growth, we wrote our goals everywhere, on whiteboards, notebooks, even walls. This simple act kept us focused and accountable. Writing your goals creates a mental blueprint. It's not just about seeing them on paper, it's about engraving them into your mind. Imagine waking up each day and seeing your goals written on your desk or phone screen. That constant reminder helps you prioritize and keeps distractions at bay. When you write a goal, it also forces you to clarify it. For example, I want to improve my career becomes, I want to learn 3 new skills in 6 months to increase my value at work. This clarity is transformative. Suddenly, you know exactly what to do next. Another advantage of writing your goals is the sense of ownership it creates. Once it's on paper, it feels real. You've taken the first step toward making it happen. This is especially important when facing doubt or fear, as it reminds you why you started in the first place. Finally, documenting your goals is like planting a seed. Each time you revisit what you've written, you nurture your vision and strengthen your resolve. Writing isn't just the first step, it's the foundation of your journey to success. A goal without a deadline is just a wish. When I started Alibaba, every objective we set came with a clear time frame. This wasn't about creating pressure, it was about creating accountability. Deadlines turn ideas into commitments and ensure that progress doesn't fall victim to procrastination. A realistic timeline transforms even the most ambitious dream into manageable steps. The importance of deadlines lies in their ability to create urgency. Imagine setting a goal to learn a new language but leaving the timeline open-ended. Without a clear endpoint, there's no motivation to start today instead of tomorrow. Deadlines, when set wisely, inspire action and provide structure to your efforts. However, it's crucial that deadlines are realistic. If they're too short, they'll feel impossible. If they're too long, they'll lose their urgency. At Alibaba, we often broke big goals into smaller, time-bound objectives. For instance, instead of saying, we'll become the biggest e-commerce platform, we set incremental deadlines to measure progress along the way. Deadlines also give you a sense of accomplishment. Each time you meet a deadline, no matter how small, it boosts your confidence and builds momentum for the next step. It's like climbing a mountain. Reaching one milestone motivates you to tackle the next. Without deadlines, even the most dedicated efforts can lose direction. Setting realistic deadlines isn't just about achieving a goal. It's about creating a rhythm of progress. It ensures that every day counts, turning time into an ally rather than an enemy. With a clear timeline, you move forward consistently, inching closer to the life you envision. A goal, no matter how clear or specific, is meaningless without action. In the early days of Alibaba, our vision was bold, but it wasn't enough to dream. We had to act, and not just once, but every single day. Transforming goals into actions is what separates those who succeed from those who merely wish. The first step to action is breaking down your goal into smaller tasks. For example, if your goal is to start a business, the first actions might include researching your market or building a simple prototype. These smaller steps make the process less overwhelming and allow you to see progress early on. It's like climbing a staircase. You don't reach the top in one leap, but by taking one step at a time. Action also requires adaptation. As I often say, if you want to catch the rabbit, don't change the rabbit, change yourself. Focus on what you can do right now with the resources you have. Sometimes, this means learning new skills or adjusting your strategy, but the key is to keep moving forward, no matter the obstacles. Small actions compound over time. Each effort, no matter how insignificant it seems, builds momentum. At Alibaba, we celebrated even the smallest victories because they brought us closer to our larger vision. Action isn't about perfection, it's about consistency. Progress, no matter how small, is still progress. Turning goals into actions requires courage, discipline, and patience. It's about showing up every day, ready to do the work, no matter how challenging it feels. When you commit to taking action, you transform not just your goals, but yourself. Not all tasks are created equal. One of the greatest lessons I've learned is the value of focusing on what truly matters. At Alibaba, we couldn't afford to waste time on things that didn't align with our vision. Prioritization was our compass, ensuring that our energy was spent on what would drive the greatest results. The principle of prioritization is simple. Focus on the 20% of actions that will yield 80% of your results. This is often referred to as the Pareto principle. When applied to goal setting, it means identifying the tasks that have the most significant impact and dedicating your resources to them. It's not about working harder, it's about working smarter. Prioritization also helps combat overwhelm. When you have too many tasks, it's easy to lose focus. By identifying what's truly important, you can eliminate distractions and channel your efforts effectively. For example, at Alibaba, instead of trying to solve every problem at once, we focused on building a reliable platform first, knowing that other features could be added later. Knowing what to prioritize also requires clarity about your goals. When you understand what you're working toward, it's easier to recognize which tasks align with that vision and which are merely noise. This clarity allows you to say no to what doesn't serve your purpose, freeing up time and energy for what does. The power of prioritization lies in its ability to amplify results. It ensures that every action counts and that no effort is wasted. By focusing on what matters most, you move closer to your goals with speed and precision, creating a path of meaningful progress. Procrastination is the silent thief of progress. It's easy to fall into the trap of later, especially when a task feels daunting. But in my experience, action, even imperfect action, is the antidote. When I started Alibaba, there were countless reasons to delay, but we chose to act no matter how small the step. The first step to overcoming procrastination is recognizing its root cause. Often it stems from fear of failure, fear of imperfection, or even fear of success. The key is to break the cycle with small, immediate actions. As I like to remind myself, when you're poor, if you have a dream, you never feel poor. This mindset transforms hesitation into hope. Taking the first step is often the hardest part. Start small. Write one email, make one call, or spend 5 minutes brainstorming. These micro-actions build momentum and create a sense of accomplishment. At Alibaba, we often said, just begin. It didn't matter if the action was perfect, what mattered was starting. Procrastination also loses its grip when you focus on progress rather than perfection. Too often, we delay because we want the perfect plan. But the truth is, progress comes from doing, not waiting. Every step forward, no matter how small, brings you closer to your goal. Overcoming procrastination isn't about willpower. It's about creating systems that make action easier. Set deadlines, break tasks into manageable chunks, and reward yourself for progress. With these strategies, you can replace hesitation with action, turning even the most overwhelming goals into achievable realities. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of the journey. When I reflect on Alibaba's early days, I see a trail of mistakes and setbacks. But those failures weren't the end. They were lessons. Each one taught us something invaluable, shaping the company into what it is today. Failure, when embraced, becomes a stepping stone to growth. One of the most powerful lessons failure teaches is resilience. At times, it felt like everything was falling apart, but we kept moving. Failure tests your resolve and forces you to adapt. It's not about avoiding mistakes, it's about learning from them and using those lessons to come back stronger. Failure also reveals what truly matters. When things don't go as planned, you're forced to evaluate your priorities and strategies. At Alibaba, every setback sharpened our focus and clarified our vision. It's in failure that you discover what's worth fighting for. I often remind myself and others that failure is temporary. It's not a label, but a moment. As long as you keep trying, failure doesn't define you, it refines you. Each attempt, no matter how unsuccessful, brings you closer to success. To me, failure is the price we pay for growth. It's an investment in our future. So embrace it, learn from it, and keep moving forward. Because every failure holds the potential for your next breakthrough. Fear is a natural emotion, but when left unchecked, it becomes a barrier to progress. In my journey with Alibaba, fear was a constant companion. Fear of failure, fear of criticism, fear of the unknown, it was always there. But I realized early on that fear is temporary, while the opportunities you miss by succumbing to it can last forever. The first step in overcoming fear is acknowledging it. Pretending it doesn't exist only gives it more power. Instead, face it head on, one small step at a time. I often tell my team, don't let fear paralyze you, let it propel you. At Alibaba, we tackled challenges by breaking them into manageable parts, which made even the scariest obstacles feel surmountable. Fear thrives on inaction. The longer you wait, the stronger it grows. Taking immediate action, no matter how small, diminishes its hold over you. Whether it's making a phone call or presenting an idea, action creates momentum. And momentum is fear's greatest enemy. It's also important to remember that fear is often irrational. We imagine the worst-case scenarios, but they rarely materialize. Looking back, many of the things I feared most never happened. And even when setbacks did occur, they were never as catastrophic as I'd imagined. This perspective helps you see fear for what it really is, a fleeting sensation, not a permanent obstacle. Success comes not from eliminating fear, but from acting despite it. When you take small, consistent actions, fear loses its grip and your confidence grows. It's not about being fearless. It's about being brave enough to keep moving forward. If there's one thing that separates those who succeed from those who don't, it's persistence. Building Alibaba was not a straight path. There were countless moments when giving up seemed like the easier choice. But success isn't about never falling. It's about getting up every single time. Persistence isn't glamorous. It's the quiet, unyielding determination to keep going, even when progress feels slow. It's waking up early, staying late, and putting in the effort when no one is watching. During Alibaba's early days, we faced rejection after rejection, yet we refused to quit. Each no brought us closer to a yes. The key to persistence is belief. You must believe in your goals and in yourself, even when others doubt you. This belief fuels the resilience needed to overcome setbacks. I often say, when you're poor, if you have a dream, you never feel poor. Dreams give you the strength to keep fighting, no matter how tough the journey gets. Persistence also builds character. Every challenge you overcome makes you stronger and more prepared for the next. It's not just about achieving your goal, it's about becoming the kind of person who can achieve it. At Alibaba, the challenges we faced shaped our culture of resilience and innovation. True success is a product of perseverance. It's about showing up every day, putting in the work, and refusing to give up. Because when you persist, even against the odds, you prove that nothing is impossible. Motivation is easy to find at the beginning of a journey, but sustaining it over the long term is the real challenge. At Alibaba, there were days when enthusiasm waned and doubt crept in. What kept us going was a deep connection to our why. Knowing why you're pursuing a goal gives you the strength to endure, even when the excitement fades. One of the best ways to sustain motivation is to celebrate progress. No achievement is too small to acknowledge. At Alibaba, we celebrated every milestone, no matter how minor. These moments reminded us of how far we'd come and fueled our desire to keep moving forward. Another strategy is to stay focused on the bigger picture. Challenges and setbacks can make you lose sight of your ultimate goal. During tough times, I reminded my team to visualize the impact we wanted to create. This focus on the end result kept us motivated, even during the most challenging periods. It's also important to surround yourself with positivity. Whether it's mentors, supportive colleagues, or inspiring stories, having a source of encouragement can make a world of difference. Motivation isn't just an internal force. It's something that can be nurtured through the right environment. Long-term motivation comes from purpose and persistence. It's about remembering why you started, celebrating how far you've come, and believing in where you're going. When you stay connected to your why, nothing can stop you from reaching your goals. Before achieving any goal, you must first see it in your mind. Visualization is a powerful tool that helps turn abstract dreams into tangible realities. At Alibaba, I spent countless hours imagining the impact our platform could have. Seeing that vision clearly in my mind made it easier to work tirelessly toward making it a reality. Visualization isn't just daydreaming, it's a mental rehearsal for success. When you imagine yourself achieving your goals, you prime your mind for the actions needed to get there. It's like creating a map for your journey, one that keeps you focused and motivated. This technique also builds confidence. When you can picture yourself succeeding, you begin to believe it's possible. During challenging times at Alibaba, I reminded my team to visualize the lives we wanted to change. That mental image kept us grounded and determined, even when progress felt slow. Visualization also clarifies your goals. The more vividly you can picture your success, the more specific and actionable your goals become. For example, instead of just wanting to build a business, you can imagine serving millions of customers or creating jobs for thousands of people. The act of visualizing success creates a mental connection between where you are and where you want to be. It's not just about seeing the finish line, it's about feeling the excitement of crossing it. This energy propels you forward, turning your vision into reality. Success is never a solo journey. At Alibaba, I learned the importance of surrounding myself with the right people. A strong community provides support, inspiration, and accountability. When you're working toward a big goal, having a network of like-minded individuals can make all the difference. The beauty of a supportive community is that it offers perspectives you might not have considered. At Alibaba, many of our breakthroughs came from team discussions. Collaboration brings fresh ideas and solutions to the table, often turning obstacles into opportunities. A community also keeps you motivated. When you share your goals with others, they become invested in your success. Their encouragement can be the push you need on difficult days. Likewise, celebrating wins together makes the journey more rewarding. Being part of a community fosters accountability. When others know your goals, you're more likely to follow through. It's harder to give up when people are cheering you on and expecting results. This dynamic creates a positive cycle of commitment and progress. Finally, a community reminds you that you're not alone. Challenges feel less daunting when you know others are facing similar struggles. Together, you can share lessons, celebrate victories, and support each other in turning dreams into reality. Change is inevitable, and those who thrive are the ones who adapt. At Alibaba, change was a constant. Markets shifted, technology evolved, and challenges appeared unexpectedly. Instead of resisting, we embraced change as an opportunity to grow and innovate. Flexibility became one of our greatest strengths. Adapting doesn't mean abandoning your goals, it means adjusting your approach. For instance, when e-commerce began transitioning to mobile platforms, we didn't cling to old methods. We pivoted quickly, ensuring Alibaba stayed ahead of the curve. This willingness to evolve kept us relevant in an ever-changing industry. Resilience is the foundation of adaptation. Change often brings uncertainty, but it also brings possibilities. At times, what seems like a setback is actually a redirection towards something better. I've seen this happen repeatedly at Alibaba, where challenges led to breakthroughs we never anticipated. Adapting to change also requires a mindset shift. Instead of fearing disruption, view it as an opportunity to improve. When you approach change with curiosity and openness, you discover new strategies and perspectives that strengthen your journey. It's not about avoiding change, but learning to navigate it effectively. Ultimately, adaptability is about staying true to your vision while being flexible in your methods. The ability to adjust ensures that no matter what challenges arise, you remain on the path to success. Change isn't something to fear, it's a tool for growth. Success is a milestone, not a destination. When Alibaba reached its first major goals, we didn't stop to rest on our achievements. Instead, we asked, what's next? Setting bigger goals keeps you moving forward, ensuring that success doesn't turn into complacency. Each achievement builds your confidence and expands your possibilities. The lessons you learn along the way prepare you for even greater challenges. At Alibaba, every goal we reached inspired us to dream bigger. It's this mindset that transformed us from a small startup into a global leader. However, bigger goals require a new level of effort and creativity. What got you to your current success might not be enough to reach the next level. This is where innovation comes in. For us, this meant constantly exploring new markets and technologies to stay ahead. Setting bigger goals also keeps your journey exciting. When you continuously strive for more, you remain motivated and engaged. It's not about being dissatisfied with what you've achieved, but about recognizing your potential to do even more. Growth is a continuous process, not a final result. With each success, remember that the horizon is endless. There's always another peak to climb and another opportunity to explore. Success is not about reaching a single goal, but about continuously pushing your limits and creating new possibilities. Your future isn't something that happens to you. It's something you create. When I founded Alibaba, I didn't know exactly how we'd succeed, but I was determined to take control of the journey. Goals are the tools that put you in the driver's seat, allowing you to shape your destiny instead of leaving it to chance. Taking control begins with a clear vision. When you know what you want, you stop drifting and start steering. At Alibaba, this meant setting specific objectives that aligned with our broader mission. Each decision we made brought us closer to the future we envisioned. Control also requires action. It's not enough to dream. You must take consistent steps toward your goals. This proactive approach transforms obstacles into opportunities. Every choice you make today lays the foundation for tomorrow. The power to shape your future is always in your hands. Another key to taking control is resilience. The journey won't be smooth, but setbacks don't have to derail your progress. When challenges arise, adapt and keep moving. At Alibaba, we often faced uncertainty, but our commitment to our vision never wavered. By setting goals and taking deliberate action, you claim ownership of your life. You're no longer at the mercy of circumstances, but become the architect of your success. Your future is yours to create, one intentional step at a time. The greatest obstacles we face are often the ones within ourselves. Doubt, fear, and self-imposed limitations can hold us back more than any external challenge. At Alibaba, I learned that believing in your potential is the first step toward achieving it. Overcoming internal barriers starts with self-awareness. Recognize the thoughts and habits that are limiting you. Whether it's fear of failure or a reluctance to step out of your comfort zone, identifying these patterns is the key to breaking free. Awareness is the foundation of change. Once you've identified your limitations, challenge them. For every voice in your head saying, "You can't," find evidence that you can. At Alibaba, we constantly pushed ourselves to do what others said was impossible. Each time we succeeded, it reinforced our belief that limits are often illusions. Another strategy is to focus on growth, not perfection. Internal limitations often stem from the pressure to succeed flawlessly, but progress, not perfection, is what matters. When you embrace learning and improvement, you free yourself from the fear of making mistakes. The journey to overcoming internal barriers is ongoing. It's not about erasing doubt entirely, but about refusing to let it control you. When you believe in yourself and take action despite your fears, you unlock your true potential and pave the way for extraordinary achievements. The most important step toward success is the one you take today. Waiting for the perfect moment only delays progress. When we launched Alibaba, the timing wasn't ideal, and our resources were limited, but we started anyway. That decision changed everything. Starting today doesn't mean you need a perfect plan. It means taking the first step. Begin with small, achievable actions that move you closer to your goal. Whether it's writing down your objectives or learning a new skill, every action counts. Momentum builds with action. The sooner you start, the sooner you create opportunities for growth. At Alibaba, our early efforts were far from perfect, but they laid the groundwork for everything that followed. Progress, no matter how slow, is still progress. Starting now also shifts your mindset. It's a declaration that you're ready to take control of your life. This proactive attitude opens doors and builds confidence. As you move forward, each small victory reinforces your belief in your ability to succeed. Don't wait for the stars to align or for fear to disappear. The best time to start is now. Your journey to success begins with a single step, and that step can be taken today.
Recently, Jack Ma delivered a profoundly inspiring presentation that resonated with audiences around the world. Known as the visionary behind the global e-commerce giant Alibaba, Jack Ma shared his wisdom on goal setting, personal growth, and the habits that drive success. His words were more than motivational. They offered a practical framework for anyone looking to transform their life. From his own experiences, he revealed that success begins not with resources or luck, but with clarity of purpose and relentless action. Jack Ma emphasized the unparalleled power of having clear goals. For him, goals are not just aspirations. They are a roadmap to your future. He spoke passionately about how knowing exactly what you want can turn even the most ambitious dreams into achievable milestones. During Alibaba's early days, Jack Ma relied on this clarity to keep his vision alive, even when others doubted its potential. Without a specific destination in mind, he warned, you risk wandering aimlessly instead of moving forward with purpose. Writing down your goals, Jack Ma explained, is the first step toward making them real. He encouraged the audience to put pen to paper, transforming abstract ideas into tangible commitments. This practice not only reinforces focus, but also builds a mental blueprint for success. According to Jack Ma, this simple yet powerful habit creates accountability, pushing you to take consistent action toward your objectives. Jack Ma also highlighted the danger of vague aspirations. Statements like, "I want to be successful," or "I want to live comfortably," lack the precision needed to inspire progress. He shared how breaking down your ambitions into specific, actionable steps is key to staying motivated. For example, instead of saying you want financial freedom, define it. How much do you want to earn, and by when? These details create a clear path forward and fuel the drive to succeed. One of the most engaging parts of Jack Ma's speech was his advice on overcoming procrastination. He described procrastination as the greatest thief of progress, a habit that delays action and feeds fear. For Jack Ma, the solution is simple: start small and start now. Even the smallest action creates momentum, breaking the cycle of hesitation and building confidence with each step. When you're poor, if you have a dream, you never feel poor, he said, emphasizing how dreams give us purpose and resilience, no matter the circumstances. Persistence, Jack Ma explained, is the ultimate secret to achieving greatness. He acknowledged that the road to success is rarely smooth and that obstacles are inevitable. However, those who persevere, who rise after every fall, are the ones who truly succeed. Reflecting on his journey with Alibaba, Jack Ma shared how each rejection only strengthened his determination. Success, he reminded the audience, is not about avoiding failure, but about refusing to give up. Sustaining motivation over the long term, Jack Ma continued, requires a deep connection to your goals. It's easy to feel excited at the beginning of a journey, but staying committed through the inevitable challenges takes more than enthusiasm. It takes purpose. Jack Ma encouraged the audience to reconnect regularly with their why, the reason they started in the first place. He explained that this practice keeps the fire burning, even during the most difficult times. To maintain motivation, Jack Ma also advised celebrating small victories. Every milestone, no matter how minor, deserves recognition. These moments of celebration build momentum and remind you of how far you've come. At Alibaba, even the smallest wins were opportunities to reflect on progress and inspire the team to keep going. Another powerful tool Jack Ma shared was visualization. He explained that imagining your success in vivid detail creates a mental rehearsal that strengthens your focus and determination. Jack Ma described how he often visualized the impact Alibaba could have, picturing the businesses it would empower and the connections it would foster. This technique not only motivated him, but also provided a clear picture of what he was working toward. Jack Ma also touched on the role of emotional resilience. He stressed that setbacks and failures are inevitable, but they don't define you. Instead, they teach you lessons and build the strength needed to face the next challenge. Success is the result of persistence, he said, urging the audience to view failure not as an endpoint, but as a stepping stone toward growth. In the final moments of his speech, Jack Ma brought everything back to one critical point: the importance of taking action today. If not now, when? If not me, who? He asked. reminding everyone that waiting for the perfect moment only delays progress. The journey to success begins with a single step, and the best time to take that step is now. Jack Ma's presentation was more than a speech. It was a call to action. His insights on clear goals, actionable steps, persistence, and long-term motivation offered a roadmap for achieving both personal and professional success. He left the audience with a simple yet powerful message. The future belongs to those who are brave enough to start building it today. Now that you've discovered Jack Ma's timeless strategies for setting and achieving meaningful goals, the real question is, what will you do with this knowledge? The key to transforming your life isn't just understanding these techniques, it's applying them consistently. Start by defining your goals clearly, writing them down, and breaking them into actionable steps. Take that first small action today because, as Jack Ma says, if not now, when? If not me, who? Think about the power of persistence and the energy that comes from connecting with your why. Are you ready to embrace challenges as opportunities for growth and let failure guide you toward success? Visualize the future you want, celebrate every step forward, and surround yourself with the right people to keep your momentum alive. These tools are now in your hands. What's stopping you from using them? Share in the comments which part of Jack Ma's advice resonated with you the most. Which steps will you implement in your life starting today? Let this video be your go-to resource whenever you need motivation or guidance on your journey. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss an opportunity to learn and grow. And when you're ready for more, check out our next video, 6 daily habits that will transform your life in just 30 days, Jack Ma's advice, to continue building the mindset and habits for success. Together, we'll turn dreams into reality, one goal at a time.